Lasers? Really? To change the weather?
That's right. Well, instead of doing a rain dance, we physicists are firing trillion-watt lasers into the sky to actually precipitate rain clouds and actually bring down lightning bolts.
Well, this fascinates me in part because, too, I remember reading the stories that China had used this during the Olympics, that the USSR had used this after Chernobyl to create rain clouds. Did those really work then? We have some of these capabilities now?
Inconclusive. Even in the 60s, the CIA used this to bring down monsoons during the Vietnam War, to wash out the Viet Cong. We realize that for decades now, these governments have been alleged to have experimented with weather control, but nothing conclusive. This time we're bringing in the laws of physics rather than simply waving our hands and uttering mumbo jumbo. We're actually using trillion-watt lasers now. And in the laboratory, sure enough, they precipitate rain out of water vapor. Sure enough, you can actually bring down electricity down the beam. Firing trillion-watt lasers, you rip apart the electrons, creating what are called ions. And these ions act like seeds, like dust particles, bringing down rain and even lightning.
Stunning. I mean, it was it was chilled.
Nearly 40,000 gallons of seawater fill this tank. House uses a computer program and a single 1,700 horsepower fan to whip wind speeds up to 157 miles per hour.
This tank is the largest.
A hurricane's power looks like at water level as it storms ashore. In just 2 minutes, scientists here can take calm waters and turn them into a monster hurricane.
The wind is gradually getting stronger and stronger as it's coming up here, and it's ramping up to a Category 5. It's probably about a Category 3 right now.
This 75-foot-long tank is the first simulator in the world capable of creating a Category 5 hurricane over water. Brian House is the director of the University of Miami's new laboratory at the Rosenstiel School of Marine and Atmospheric Science. What was it like when you cranked it up the first time, full blast?
It was
1983, I did radiotomography with 30 watts, looking for oil in the ground. I found 26 oil wells over a 9-state area, and 100% of the time was accurate with just 30 watts of power beaming straight into solid rock. HARP uses 1 billion watts beamed straight into the ionosphere for experiments. Picture these strings on the piano as layers of the earth. Each one has its own frequency. What we used to do is beam radio waves into the ground, and it would vibrate any strings that were present in the ground. We might get a sound back like, and we'd say, that's natural gas. We might get a sound back like, and we say that's crude oil. We were able to identify each frequency. We accomplished this with just 30 watts of radio power. If you do this with 1 billion watts, the vibrations are so violent that the entire piano would shake. In fact, the whole house would shake. In fact, the vibrations could be so severe underground that could even cause an earthquake.
All right, Shalom. I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Double salutations to all you Akim out there laboring. The house of David, the elect, that's pushing this word with all truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Shalom to you, brothers, and shalom to the elect. I'm back with another quick lesson through the Holy Spirit of the Rakah Kwadash, and jumping right into this article here. This is from the AmericasFirstReport.com. In the headline, it reads, it says, researchers warn geoengineering is crime against humanity. Okay, so let's look up geoengineering. All right. So here's the definition here. Geoengineering, it says, definition 1, it reads, it says, engineering that involves large-scale manipulation of the Earth's environment, okay? Weather modification, okay? Cloud seeding. You see? The HARP machine, his technology, right? Engineering that involves large-scale manipulation of the Earth's environment, especially applied to climate change caused by global warming, as in sequestering carbon or increasing the amount of solar radiation reflected from the Earth back into space. It says Yeah, definition 4 says the artificial manipulation of the environments of the earth. That's what that is. That's everything that we saw in the intro, dealing with Esau's technology, his power on the left-hand side. The artificial manipulation of the environments of the earth, especially as means of counteracting global warming. So Esau, all right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shah on the left-hand side, he's the one that's responsible, you know, for these disasters that's going on, and people are becoming privy to it. You know, researchers warn geoengineering is crime against humanity, and it is, because he's playing the Most High. You know, it says a group of leading experts has warned that efforts to manipulate the weather and climate through geoengineering are crimes against nature and humanity. All right, and this is what people are talking about now. All right, remember, we live in a time where everything about Esau is being exposed. All right, it's being brought to light. It says the warning was issued in a scientific paper titled, quote, Geoengineering Disinformation, two opposing testimonies in the stakes for humanity. Right now, before we get into the main part of the lesson, let's just read. Let's see what this says. All right. Advances in Social Sciences Research Journal. Geoengineering Disinformation, two opposing testimonies in the stakes for humanity. All right, here's the authors: PhD, MD, MPH. All right. So let's just read the abstract here real fast. It says, let's make it bigger. All right, so it says here in the abstract, it says covert military geoengineering operations have been ongoing for the better part of 3 decades. Civilian airlines base in NATO countries are part of this planetary operation. Its aims appears to be to warm the planet to gain access to the immense stores of hydrocarbons and strategically important minerals beneath polar ice. Man, it says to keep the public from understanding what is going on, the governments involved, led by the U.S., have resorted to disinformation on a broad, no-holds-barred scale. Disinformation involves mixing truth with lies, half-truths with omitted truths, so that the public remains ignorant and misinformed, right? Keep the people confused. And we see a lot of this going on now. And thus disinclined to protest or otherwise intervene. It says 2 long-term observers, one of a geoengineer critic, the other a retired commercial airline pilot, and co-author of this article, provide differing testimony for the geoengineering Holocaust. Right, so this is heavy stuff, man. But the point is, all right, going back to the article, all right, that's part of his power. This is part of his power on the left-hand side, this technology that he possesses. You see, everything that we saw in the beginning, right? 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, and verse 7, it says, for the mystery of iniquity doeth already work, all right? He's already in power. He's already at work, all right? It says, only he who now will letteth, Salakia, only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. So he's been set up. Yahweh Shemel Shah has set him up to fulfill, you know, his lot on the left-hand side until the Lord comes back to destroy him, to take him out of the way. So these things have to be fulfilled on the earth, as we're seeing here. It says, and then shall the wicked be revealed, right? The wicked, you know, the Edomite, the devil, whom the Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shai, shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, going back to the prophets, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming when he returns. When Yahweh Shemel Shai returns, he's coming back with the heavenly host. The point, verse 9, 2 Thessalonians 2:9, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders, you know, and that's Esau's blessing. All right, the power, the sword, his technology, all right, the lying wonders. You see everything that we see being forwarded right now. All right. I just want to grab this word for power in the Greek.
Strong's G 1411. Dunamis. Dunamis.
Dunamis for power here in the Greek. It says strength, power, ability. See? It says inherent power, power residing in a thing by virtue of its nature, or which a person or thing exerts and puts forth. Power for performing miracles, all right? Because his power is the left hand, all right? The technology, the AI, okay? Weather modification, you know, climate manipulation. That's the power, all right? It says more power, excellent soul, the power and influence which belongs to riches and wealth. All right, because Esau is in the, you know, he has the riches, he has the wealth. The earth has been given into the hand of the wicked. All right, so there's no denying that this technology is the real deal. All right, and they've been boasting about it for decades. As we read in that abstract, it says there's been a, you know, geoengineering has been around for over 30 years. You know, this is real quick, Revelation 13, just speaking about the power. Revelation 13:12, it says, and he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, which is the Roman Empire, and caused the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast whose deadly wound was healed. Right, because Esau is back pushing this this Greco-Roman Empire system on the earth. You know, it says the point, verse 13, and he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on earth in the sight of men. And he's been given that technology going back to the atomic bomb. All right, where he dropped that on how you say it, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, 1945. You know, he has the satellites that are equipped with laser technology. They can beam down, you know, concentrated fire from the heavens. You know, his ICBM nuclear missiles. You know, it's all tied to those great wonders. His blessing, that technology. Matter of fact, let's pull this up. Great wonders. I want to see what this says too. All right. Great wonders.
Strong's G, 4592, Semayon. Semayon.
All right, for that word wonders. Okay. Sign, mark, token. All right, so yeah, we don't need anything out of that, but that's part of the great wonders that he was blessed with, man. And he doeth great wonders so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on earth in the sight of men. All right, he's been given that power. All right, tying it back to this geoengineering and this weather manipulation, you know. Revelation 6:4, it says, and there went out another horse that was red, tying that back to Esau, Edom. And power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. All right, so this is a part of his great sword. All right, weather manipulation. Okay, they can create clouds and hurricanes and tornadoes. All right, they can bring forth droughts. This is this man acting as if the Most High, as he's acting like he is the Most High. And it also tells you that back in Thessalonians, right? You know, it says 2 Thessalonians 2:4, it says, who opposing him exalted himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worshipped, so that he as the Most High sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High. You see? So that power, man. And like I said, people are talking about this. All the information is been out there, right? But they're trying to spin it as a disinformation campaign, man, because this information is what people are speaking about. This is what's exposing them, right? Now, getting into the main focus of this lesson here, just wanted to go into that real quick, but getting into the main focus. All right, this came out today. This is from the Washington Post. It says, hurricane recovery officials in North Carolina relocated amid report of armed militia. Email shows. It says safety fears are growing as misinformation collides with the large-scale federal recovery effort. All right, so let's play the video here from CNN. All right. This is about 2 hours ago. It says some FEMA aid paused after reports of armed militia threats. All right.
FEMA disaster recovery efforts were forced to be temporarily halted in North Carolina after the agency said it received several reports of threats being made against their teams on the ground. In one county, FEMA workers had to stop work after National Guard troops reported seeing armed militia threatening them nearby. CNN's Isabel Rosales has the latest on this. What's happening here?
Kate, good morning. Certainly a very serious situation that has actually forced FEMA workers out of an abundance of caution to work out of secure locations instead of going door to door to those deeply impacted areas of Western North Carolina to get people the help that they need. This was first reported on by the Washington Post, stating that National Guard troops witnessed armed militia making threats against FEMA workers. Now, of course, we don't know if that threat is credible. We have put out a call to FEMA to try to get more information about that. But we've had two communities that have been impacted by these threats. That's Ashe and Rutherford counties, with the sheriff of Ashe County saying this. He urged residents to, quote, stay calm and steady during our recovery to help folks, and please don't stir the pot. And of course, Kate, this comes amid a backdrop of misinformation that has been circulating about the federal response to Milton and Helene. This has deeply upsetted many local officials that I've spoken with, not just in North Carolina, but Florida too, because this is taking up the resources that could be used toward recovery. And instead, they're online on social media telling people, hey.
Bear with me 1 second.
Hey, this is false information. Don't believe this. So this is taking up a lot of their time. Also for
Now, hold on real quick. Now, they're saying that this is false information and all of that, but they put it out here. All right. Remember, about a week or so ago, right? Here's the article here. It says, this is from the NY Post, but it says Fed said there is no money left to respond to hurricanes after FEMA spent $1.4 billion on migrants. All right. So how is this disinformation? Right. They don't have the money to help the people in these disasters.
Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas sounding the alarm on FEMA funding right after the devastation of Hurricane Helene. Listen.
We are meeting the immediate needs with the money that we have. We are expecting another hurricane hitting. We do not have the funds. FEMA does not have the funds to make it through the season.
This all comes as the Biden-Harris administration spent over $1 billion from a FEMA program on services for migrants.
Now, so how is this disinformation? All right, now there's articles online saying that FEMA has money and what was put out there wasn't true. He's just a bullshit artist, man. All right, this is Psalms chapter 10 and verse 7. It says, his mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. All right, he's a liar. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. All right. So they put it out that they didn't have the money, but they had the money to to bring migrants over, to spend on migrants, to send, aid over to Israel and Ukraine. Right. But the people over here, they just left them out to dry. And this is why there's a point of, they're saying that there's armed militia out there, man, threatening the FEMA workers, So this is heavy. So let's finish this out,
Forcing FEMA to actually open up a section of their website called the Hurricane Rumor Response section to, again, try to bat down all of this misinformation.
Hurricane Rumor Response. All right. When about a week or so ago, right, you just said that you didn't have the money to respond to hurricanes and natural disasters. You see, so he's getting caught up in his own words, right? This is Psalms 58. In verse 2, and it reads, it says, yea, in heart ye work wickedness, yea. It says, yea, weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. Right. And as we just went through earlier, speaking about, this technology that he has, you weigh your hands in violence in the earth, man. This is the wicked and violent man. And this technology is used to bring forth destruction, man. Right. People are becoming privy of this now. All right. They're becoming aware. It says Psalms 58:2, yea, in heart ye work wickedness, ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. Verse 3, the wicked are estranged from the womb, they go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. All right, so this is what all these devils do, is they speak lies. They're hypocrites, and they're being found out. See?
And Isabel, you were in Florida last week covering the Hurricane Milton for us. What are you hearing in terms of the latest recovery efforts there?
If you have a child,
let's let this pass.
Yeah, it's a long task ahead for recovery in Florida, specifically because they're still dealing with all of this flooding. There's flooding warnings for major rivers, Hillsborough River. You also have the. Then you also have other rivers there that have been flooding. We've seen the recovery happening around the area, with Sheriff Chad Chronister saying that unfortunately the waters are not receding as much as they would like. This is leading to a lot of deputies trying to help out people there. Then you've got fuel. You've got hard hit areas like Tampa and St. Petersburg seeing 3/4 of gas stations without fuel, to the point that the state is stepping in, leading escorts of the fuel tankers, and also opening up fueling stations where people can get up to 10 gallons of fuel for free to try to help them turn the page on this. We also have some sound on this. Let's listen.
So much damage was already done. There was less for Milton to do. But again, just the stress level, it takes a toll.
But getting all of this stuff out of the street, all of the reminders of everything that was ruined, I think is really going to go a long way towards everybody in the community feeling like they can really move on.
Yeah, and that debris, Kate, is certainly a big priority. Governor DeSantis said as such. This is happening around 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, to remove all of that, specifically Helene debris, out of the way, because these are flying projectiles, extremely dangerous, and we're not out of hurricane season yet.
Yeah. Isabel, thank you very much.
And we have seen the power that misinformation has had in the wake of Hurricane Helene. But now that false information surrounding FEMA has taken a disturbing turn. If you haven't heard about this, listen up. 8 operations in Rutherford County, North Carolina, were suspended on Saturday after National Guard troops saw armed militia members threatening FEMA workers. In an urgent email to federal agencies obtained by the Washington Post, these militia members, the troops, quote, had come across 2 trucks of armed militia saying they were out hunting FEMA. As a result, FEMA tells CNN they've made safety adjustments in counties where federal workers are receiving threats. While about 100 miles north of Ashe County, the sheriff there posted on Facebook on Sunday that some 8 operations were paused out of abundance of caution due to threats occurring in some counties. And while aid has resumed in these areas, these sorts of incidents spurred by misinformation continue to hurt communities already in need.
You see what I'm saying? So, it could go down, but I was thinking about that because remember before they said that these type of things were going to happen. As I brought this article out a few times here from The Guardian, this came out about a year or so ago. It says these are the conditions ripe for political violence. How close is the U.S. to civil war? As we read down here and highlighted in the yellow, the point, it says if a second civil war breaks out in the U.S., it would be a guerrilla war fought by multiple small militias spread around the country. See that? It says their targets will be civilians, mainly minority groups, opposition leaders, and federal employees, right? And so Esau put this out there, man. So you never really know. It could be all set up at the end of the day, but this is what's playing out right now. And they're blaming it on misinformation, but here it is. You've said that you don't have the money to help these people. Then on top of that, the information that's being poured out online about the technology and the weather modification, everything like that. So Esau once again is getting caught up in his own lies, So we're going to see if it goes down or not, let's see what happens. All right, out here in North Carolina. So this is 2 Ezra 15 and verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. All right, civil unrest, civil war, martial law. All right, for there should be sedition among men. In invading one another, they should not regard their kings nor princes. In the course of their actions shall stand in the power. So this is what we're hearing about right now. All right, with these armed militias out there in North Carolina. All right.
In the face of that disinformation, communities ravaged by Helene are still trying to heal. Communities across western North Carolina, schools in particular, remain closed largely, with a timeline for reopening uncertain. In Buncombe County, home to Asheville, some 20,000 students have been impacted. Officials there are struggling to obtain necessities like water after the storm knocked out power, a part of the county's water system. One of the schools affected is Odyssey Community School, and Odyssey's head of school, Eric Howard, joins me now. Eric, good to see you this morning. We appreciate you coming on.
All right, so that's the point, man. We don't got to watch the rest of it. But you get it, you know. Anything can happen. We watching everything, but the point is I wanted to make that, you know, people are aware of the capability that this man has on the left-hand side, you know, through this geoengineering, weather manipulation technology, you know. So, Lord willing, this, you know, quick lesson was informative and also edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash, and Shalom.